I'm Julie Drapeau, the Vice President of Sales at Purity Life Health Products.
And I'm Erin Macklin. I'm the Trade Marketing Manager with Purity Life.
The purpose of our talk, of course, we want to update you on what's trendy and what to make sure to have in your store. But we're giving it a little bit of a spin this year and informing you a little bit more on who are the customers, who's going in your stores, and how to talk to them. So we're going to have that a little bit more in detail. And all the numbers that you will see, we have data from Spins. We have a group called Circana, which is a group in the US that are basically a Spins data, but for conventional beauty. And also our great data at Purity Life as well, too. Who's in your store right now? So we have customers that are looking for value, more for what they buy. But we also have, which is the most important thing to understand, is customers that are looking for values that they are very into and want to support when they buy a brand. So when we look into those values orientated people, they're very adventurous. So they want to see what's new. What are the new ingredients out there? And they are willing to invest for those ingredients and special products. So that's currently, in a nutshell, who you have in your stores right now.
Yeah, they're adventurous and they're willing to try new brands. So important kind of retailer strategies to make sure that you're identifying and connecting with those values-oriented customers. One simple way, even just signage in your store, really calling out some of those important certifications. So we're talking about things like good for the planet, certified upcycled, good for animals, so vegan, the Leaping Bunny, B Corp certified, fair trade. Make sure you're calling all of these things out on all those products that are in your store. Make sure that your staff are equipped to speak to all those certifications and know which products they're going to apply to, because that's really going to hit close to home with all these values-oriented consumers.
Make sure that you have in store always something that is gift with purchase, bigger sizes. You buy a BioSteel, you get a free Herbaland candy bag. So this way, there's that investment in the original product, but they see that extra value. And remember back in time, the loyalty card were very popular, and we sort of let go of that. It's time to bring it back if you don't have it in your store, because that's extra value where people can accumulate points that get them excited to keep going into purchasing a specific brand as well and buying the stores, right?
So we're going to talk a little bit about 4 overarching values. So these are going to overlay on the trending categories that we're going to discuss. Think about them as kind of additional bonus points that your customers will apply to specific products or brands. This is kind of going over top of those categories. First one is upcycling. So if you don't already know, the definition of this is basically using ingredients or materials in new products that would otherwise go to waste. Certified upcycling specifically is referring to food waste and food products. It doesn't need to be only kind of confined to food though. So if you think about something like, we've got a brand called Antipodes, they have a face care line. This is a great example of them using an antioxidant called Vinanza, which they're sourcing from grape seeds that would otherwise be waste from local vineyards. Second, we've got sustainability. So many people hear sustainability and we think stainless steel cups, we think silicone straws. So this is not a trigger to kind of go out and stock up your store and all those things. This is sustainability on a broader sense. What we're talking about is environmental sustainability, economic sustainability. This is really about how a brand is treating and leaving the environment, but also how they're treating their employees, their customers, their suppliers, their community.
Better for you. So it might start from one end to the other end. So wherever you are in your journey for health or getting better in every area of your life, that's very important for you to show that in your store. You can be somebody that were drinking Gatorade, you switch to BioSteel. You were eating Pop-Tarts while you're going to sourdough, sorry. So that's really where, everybody's on a different scale when they come to your store. And again, that's what they have in mind. It's no longer having a very specific and closed-minded, and that ties up with the personalization I'll talk later, but people are really looking for something that is speaking to them, what they are in the moment with personalization. But the better for you is really eating chocolate, going to a better organic version. And again, there's more and more people in the conventional side of things that are merging and coming to our store. So be patient, because for them it could be going from a copper tone to a alba to a dermae to getting a little better there. So we need to be able to take them wherever they are in their journey without judgment, and grow them to the better in every category for them.
Yeah,
So
I would say be ready to meet them where they are. So for some people, that's getting to where I think a lot of us are, which are kind of on the really healthy, natural end. But for many people that are coming from conventional, you just got to get them a step in the right direction. Maybe it's adding something to their coffee that's going to give them that little bit of health benefit. Really be ready to meet people where they're already at.
Personalization. We all want our special recipe just for us, because we're all unique. And we had the chance in the summer to go south in Nice in France. And we got in a store, forgot my sun care protection, and we got into that store, and I faced a little box that had an AI intelligence in the back of that. And you could enter what your skin, how your skin was feeling at this point in time. Entering all that information, it was spitting out the perfect recommendation on all your skincare routine that you could get on the shelf surrounding you. So that's very advanced. We don't have that here yet, but it's showing where the market is going, how precise we'll be able to get in that personalization. But for today, for all of us, how do we deal with that? Well, we talked about one of the brands that we distribute, Antibodies, and they've done a great job with that just to make it easy. So basically, you have that you can put on your shelf if you're short staff, or you just don't have always the manpower to help people in the aisle. They basically simplify all their skincare routine to say, hey, I feel like hydration for the next couple of months. So this is how you get that personalization to your customer. So this way they can have the little routine that they want without yet having AI to support it.
Yeah. And on a broader sense, we're not all going to have AI machines in our stores. We're certainly not going to have that tomorrow. That would be lovely, but it's not realistic.
Yeah.
But personalization can be done in any way that you can think of ultimately, right? So that's having a special section even in your online store, or a sign in your store that's saying, well, this is for the working mom, this is for the sports fanatic. Just make sure that you've got those personalized things, because every one of us is looking for something that fits us just right. And now we feel like we're there and we're ready to buy.
Last point to do on that, it's across all categories. I'm speaking often about beauty and face care and body care, but it's also across, if you look at how keto was strong, declined, paleo decline, is because people want to take a little bit of everything to make it their own, right? So we see that across all categories. Innovation. So what's going on with innovation in the market? Because that's really important, right? We live and breathe new things and bring to the market. And certainly post-COVID there was, and during COVID, of course, there was a lot of issues with stocks, ingredients, and just higher costs, right? And we would say that in the food category, it hasn't slowed down as much. I mean, if you go to Expo West, you look at the show here that we'll have for the next 2 days, there's food everywhere. There's snacks everywhere. It seems like this is growing significantly. But in the meantime, when we look at beauty supplements, it has been slowed down a lot. And to that, we want to give you little tips and tricks, because what do we do in the meantime? Well, on our side, that's why we travel a lot and go to shows in Europe and everywhere to see what's innovation and bring to the market. But in the meantime, if we go back to the previous slide, highlight brands that are talking about better for you and all of those values that are important for your customers from the brands that you have currently. And definitely innovation will come back. There's brands that are working into bringing more different ingredients. Mushroom was the last big thing on the market, but since then in the supplements, it's not so prevalent, but it's coming.
In the meantime, point out the innovation that's on your shelves. We have it.
Yeah.
It's just slowed down in the newness. So how do all these things, these overarching values, and given our current customer that we're talking about, how do these all impact the categories that we're going to go over here? So we're going to go over snacks and beverages, supplements, and beauty. So we're going to start with snacks. Interesting trend across all channels, mass, grocery, natural. We're seeing units sold are down, but dollars sold are up. Now, this can be seen in two varying consumers. So we've got the consumer that might be looking for value by increasing the size they're purchasing. They're probably not unlike myself. You're kind of tightening up that budget, and when you're going past that grab and go, or when you're thinking, hey, I'm going to add that last thing in, you're thinking twice because everybody's cutting down. Everybody's trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to save that dollar? This is definitely going to be kind of one of your consumers. You also have a secondary consumer still willing to pay premium prices for better for you products. Both of these consumers can be budget savers. You might not see that customer picking up 5, 10 different items, but they're still there and they're still paying the price. So make sure that you're still stocking those higher premium items on your shelves as well. So some of the things to look for within trends in snacks, we've got the rise of upcycled ingredients. So we talked about that, what upcycled is. We've got functional ingredients, so lots of prebiotics. We're still seeing mushrooms. We're still seeing ashwagandha. And then third, we've got global flavors. So this is kind of interesting. They're often spicy flavors. This speaks to Julie a little bit more than myself. I'm not really a spicy lover. I can't handle it, but that's a whole other story. But it does really speak to an ever more diverse consumer base that we have, and the willingness of these brands to really invest in that diversity and be more inclusive with some of their flavors and their snack options. And then lastly, we have, no surprise, allergen-friendly and grain-free focus as well.
Yes, beverages. What's going on with our beverages? So this is important. Last year we talked about hydration. We talked to you about BioSteel, the NHL deal, how big hydration was. Well, no surprise, hydration is still the top selling category in beverages across the board in the US, in Canada. If we look at our data at Purity Life, that is still the highest one. And if you look at the volume of sale, this is all SPINS data from the US, but it represents $445 million just in hydration only. And the growth is still quite significant on a large number like this. So again, I'm going to repeat this year, if you don't have an aisle of hydration, you're missing on big thing. Because this category is not only for the avid, person who train and exercise, but it's for the daily, mom that take a walk. Remember, better for you. So it goes back to that too. We want to perform better. We take products that, makes us feel that we can do better. So hydration, hydration, hydration. The second one I want to bring up, you see cold and flu, of course, and we're back in the beverages, right? Remember that I'm not talking about supplements. But this has been a big category as well. Growth is average, but the one that I want to really point out is the cleanse and detox. It has the highest growth. And this tied up with greens. For those who either follow us in one of our talks or such, we talk about AG1 a lot. Who hasn't seen ever AG1? I do that, yeah. So they're everywhere because they have $1 million that they can invest a month on promotions. And basically, the positive of them is they brought back the category of greens to market to life. It's not new and has been forever on the market, but it sort of died, right? It wasn't trendy anymore, but it's back. And we have brands like Organic Traditions that have fabulous products with different flavors, so they taste good. They make it available for everybody. I don't know for you, but back in times, greens were I can do this.
Yeah.
Chug it in and then
was
hope that it
hamster
goes
food.
down and stays there, right?
Yeah.
It's very different now. It's a very like a nice pleasure, and it's part of, better for you again. So keep an eye on these because they're very, very big and make space in your store. Mood support, of course, we have that in the supplements with all the mushrooms, but there's a lot of drinks also that would have that mushroom that help with a mood support in different categories. Not to forget, people say, well, what about alcohol, Julie? In the liquid and the beverage. In the non-alcoholic beverages, it's beer that is the top selling categories. So beer could be a good option to add a couple of SKUs in your store.
So we're going to move into supplements. Interestingly enough, in supplements, we also saw that units sold were down, but average retail price was up. Let this be your trigger to you not to slow down on bringing in some of those, again, the premium higher priced items, because there's still that large demand for it, those targeted supplements. So as you can see, we've got protein and meal replacements were the top growing category, and performance nutrition has the highest growth as well. Big thing here, we talked about hydration, making sure that you've got hydration in your store. If you don't have a sports supplement category, this is what you're missing on. It's big and it continues to grow quickly.
And I just want to add to this, traveling across Canada, I had lots of stores saying, yeah, but we don't have bodybuilders. We don't have those sports people coming.
It's not what it is anymore.
No, it's not what it is anymore. Everybody is interested in that better for you and improving their performance. So again, wherever they start, I'm walking, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing a little bit of this. It's already an activity and they're looking for that support. And there's more and more, I would say, talk around the importance in protein. And I'm looking at all the ladies in the room because that's sometimes and often a category that, we sort of put aside. But there's more and more research on that need of protein, and we're looking for that. We're looking for options. So make it easy for everybody to find different options. And plant was slowing down last year. It's still slowing down because of all the gut issues that people experience. And whey is really strong. So make sure that you put that on your shelf as well. Again, variety is important.
Yeah, there's so many more accessible proteins now. Like they're just a little bit more, built for somebody like myself. There's proteins out there that aren't scary big black bottles. There's ones that are for females or for younger families.
Like I like the big black bottles.
I'm not saying you like the big black bottles. I'm just saying I've seen them out there, and they're intimidating, right? There's a whole other customer base that's not looking for those supplements, but really can benefit from this protein.
Yeah.
So again, we're coming back to that same thing where make sure that you can personalize it for each one of your customer bases. We're also seeing probiotics and digestive aids continue to grow slowly, and homeopathic medicines. This is an interesting one. We've talked about this one before.
Every time.
It just keeps trucking along. So slow and steady, but certainly continues to get more acceptance from mainstream consumers, and I think it's only a good thing for all of us. Within especially some TikTok viral uptakes, we've got berberine for weight loss. You've probably all heard this within your stores. They're calling it nature's Ozempic. Huge, very quick uptake.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. Mushrooms still. Green supplements, as Julie was talking about before, it's funny how everything old is new again. Like 10, 15 years ago, we all had these greens. Everybody had to have it, was in your base supplement regime. And then it just kind of died off. People were tired of drinking their hamster food, and it was just, I'm tired of it. And it's all coming back. Now all of a sudden it's a rage, right? And it's for everybody. It's for the people that are working out, it's for the kids, it's for the moms, it's for the whole thing. So it's definitely important to be able to see these kind of viral things come through and be able to react on them really quickly. Value size as well. But really, the big important takeaway from this, if you're not on TikTok personally, make sure somebody in your store is watching it, because you don't have a lot of time to react. This stuff happens really quickly. If it's happening, react on it, because it's going to go big.
Beauty, yes. This is a huge category. It's a huge opportunity. if we look at the dollars within conventional, it's a 54 billion industry in the US. And if we look at our average sales here, I would say even in Canada, in our natural field, it's like this. And there's a reason for that. I mean, we're driven to get results, and I think that there's that need of building that knowledge and education in our customers to feel that when they buy natural, they will still have the results as well. But the great news is I had the chance to go to a show in the US called Cosmoprov, and it's a conventional show. And they have developed a little area of green, I call it green, but that's how they call it, natural. There's about a little bit like this of a couple of booths, but we attended a conference and they were telling how much the consumer are asking for natural ingredients. And they are pushed to create natural options. But as we all know here, when we look in conventional, when they slap natural on the product, it's still a little scary what's underneath the cover. As an example, again, we were sitting there and they said, oh, parabens, that's not a problem. You know, you need the ingredients to help out with the formulation to last. And we're like, whoa. For us, parabens, we don't even talk about that anymore. That's like it's
just a given. It's
a given, right? But what I wanted to tell you within this that is very important is we talked about TikTok. TikTok is our friend because it has, and it speaks so much about how the harsh ingredient and the results that it gives to your skin, and push conventional people to say, hey, I'm using a minimum of 11 products. Like, think about this morning when you woke up and how many products that you used. And they're like, whoa, okay, this is going through my skin. This is going in my system. That's not good. So on TikTok, they talk a lot about that. And so when I went to that conventional talk, they said, whoa, we need to do something. So we have the product. So we can do something, but we need to be serious about it. And I've been talking about that along, like across, Canada during all years, but you need to be serious. You either get on board or push it out, but do it well because customers are there, they're coming, but you need to present the category as, to make them feel that we're serious about it.
I think it's so interesting that you're seeing in conventional that there is this great demand coming for natural. And then on the flip side, we have this whole, especially younger consumer base, which has the real information, it has access very quickly to all of the ingredients and what they don't want. And it doesn't really jive. I don't think conventional is really going to be ready for the amount of information that these consumers have at their fingertips. And the greatest part about this is we're already living and breathing this. All of you guys in your store are already living, and you have the answers. You know what they don't need. So you're going to be able to really fill in that gap really well. There's lots to take advantage of here.
And I'm going to loop again the better for you. Don't scare them. Take them by the hand from where they are. If they come from, using MAC makeup, go slowly. Bring them in your Pacifica, Mineral Fusion, whatever company you have, and start them small. Okay, so by categories, where should we focus on? We divide the category, the beauty, within 9, I would say, different buckets here. And although bath and body care is the largest in dollar, because it's easy, right? You don't have to think too long for choosing like a body wash. You smell it, like it, price is good, you just move on, right? And it's good for the entire family as well. When we get into categories like skincare and cosmetics, we want results, right? It's very important. And to that, those two categories they're a bit trickier in the natural because we still have to build the confidence that if they use a natural product, it's going to work on reducing their fine lines, getting rid of the dark spot they have on their skin, and that the cosmetic that they use on their skin will make them look like, that's an old model, but Cindy Crawford. But seriously, We need to be confident with those categories. And honestly, there's brands now that do have the active ingredients that you can feel confident that by using them, they will get results on the skin. So make sure you have the good brand, that you get education. But those two categories are here to stay and definitely expanding significantly. Another one that is not highlighted here that I want to point out is sun care. Do you see a change a little bit in the demand of sun care in your stores? I see some yes. Sun care is not for the sunshine time or the month of summer that we have. It's all year long. And again, that's a very big trend because people who are looking at ingredients, they want to make sure that they use good ingredients on their skin. But think about preventing aging. That's the key. You need to protect your skin because the sun is fabulous, but it helps activate the aging of the skin significantly. So that's why conventional talk a lot about it, but they were talking about, people want natural ingredients in there, so we're going to miss on this. So we are not, because we have products for that. So make sure that you have a space for sun care just beside your skincare offer. Mix it in. Don't put it just in another category because it's summertime and you have a display and at the end of the summer, you put it away. Incorporate it beside your face care and skincare category.
Treat it like a daily,
Yeah. The last piece, fragrances. That is, again, a huge category in the conventional. In our world, not so much because people are aware of, scent and how, again, it's damaging for hormones and such. But again, if we think about better for you, we need to make sure that we have options. And there are brands in the natural set that offer the look that conventional give with better ingredients. We have Pacifica. If you look at the bottles they created, it's a beauty. You put it beside
really
other
nice
conventional
new stuff. If you haven't seen it yet, they're nice like glass square bottles. Just go by the booth. They're really pretty.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. So highlight of this, skincare, cosmetic, make sure it has a great place in your store. Sun care, mix it within. Fragrances, that you have that. And the other categories, we're strong at it. That's not a problem. Just make sure you have different price points so you can fulfill everybody's need.
Personalized.
Yes, personalized.
Okay, we're going to go a little bit deeper into beauty here and talk about 4 main trends that you probably are already seeing. And if you're not, you're going to be seeing it soon. So we've got Explain It to Me, Skinimalism Evolved, Make It Fun, Make It Loud, Make It Yours, and Efficacy. Efficacy rules above all else.
Yes.
So explain it to me. I'm going to explain it.
Explain, Erin. Explain.
So Gen Zers and millennials in particular are demanding ingredient information at their fingertips. This is just the way they're wired. This is how quickly they're used to getting information. They're going to expect you and your staff and the brand to be serving this information to them at all times. This is why it's important for you to be choosing brands that are already equipped with all of this social and all of this education that they're making available through a variety of different medias. They're also very interested because they're already online. They're used to being there to search all these things. They're checking out all of the reviews. So again, this is something that you guys need to be looking at. How are the reviews on these products? Because if they're not good, they're not going to come into your store looking for those products. So beefing up those reviews is really key as well. And this can really work on a store level as well. Something to kind of keep in mind. These are the same people that are kind of checking for reviews on all these ingredients and all these products. They're also looking up your store. So if they're looking for a store within your neighborhood and the other 2 stores that are within your neighborhood have all sorts of great Google reviews that say, oh, I had the best service and their product selection was fantastic and yours has nothing, they're going to the store that they've heard the personal experiences from. So this is an opportunity for you. When you have a great experience with a customer, when you have a really satisfied customer, prompt them, hey, jump online and just give us a review. The more of those you get, the more you're going to attract those customers. And that's not just online customers. That's within your brick and mortar store as well. Very, very important.
just to add what you were saying about the explain to me, it's so important that it makes new products or categories work or not. If for those who have a dry shampoo bar on your shelves, if you didn't explain to your customer thinking that you just put it there and it's going to sell, they'll know how to do it. They get home, they don't put water on it enough, put it in their hair, doesn't work. It's really, dry, and then they're not satisfied, they don't buy it again. And so we see that. We always thought that, when we got some of that category at Purity, we said, oh, that's going to fly. All the values, check the box. But the movement and traveling across Canada asking store, how's your dry shampoo bar moving? And then it came to mind that we just put in there, hoping that people knew how to use it. There's other trends. There's a shampoo, like bottle without water. It's waterless product. Great. It's a big trend. But if you don't take the time to explain or put something on your shelf to say, hey, this is how you use it, they'll buy it once. That's going to be it.
Yeah. And we're a great example of this. Julie and I both tried a concentrated shampoo and conditioner, and we're both really gung-ho, like, hey, this stuff's going to be great. I love this. I love the packaging. It's genius. And then we both tried it, and we went,
Yeah. How's your hair?
And I knew, right? Like, I was being lazy about it. So I kept it in my shower. And then the next time I'm like, okay, I'm actually going to do what the instructions say to do. So I did it that way. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I made this. I got it. But honestly, like, if you don't tell people that, if you don't push them to that, suddenly they've got this product that's fantastic, that's checking all the boxes, that's hitting all the values, and it didn't really work. And it kind of falls flat, and they're not going to come back for it. So that's where the education piece comes in for sure.
Again, we're expert. We live in that category for years, but people who are, starting small, they're just putting their toes in our industry, they need education, and we need to make them feel we're there for you and to walk you through and make you comfortable and have fun. So let's go back to my slide here. So
topic.
This term was used a lot more for makeup trend. Less colors and being more like glowing, but it has expanded to all categories. And we put a little triangle here to show that this term is now integrated in all categories. What does it mean really is people are looking for, as I was showing you on antibodies, they're looking for either collection or seasonality or small routine that they all cycle. I'm sure if you think about yourself, you go on a trend of, I'm gonna have my green drink every morning. How long does it last? Couple of months. Yeah. Was it 2 days, Leah? 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks, and then you get into another routine, and you like to alternate because we go through season of life, and so that skinimalism is not just for skin, but it's in every categories. We have different training routines, so we take creatine, we don't take creatine anymore, we add BCAAs, we're up our hydration. So think that way and make sure again that you have those offer and simplified ideas in your store. It's all about providing some solution and ideas for what is trendy.
Yeah, be ready to sell a regime because the consumers they're not tied as tightly to some of the products, I think, than we have been in the past. They're willing to come in and say, okay, I've been using this set of cleanser, toner, moisturizer, for a few months now, and I'm ready to switch. And they're not necessarily, take that opportunity because they're not necessarily coming in and saying, okay, I just need a new moisturizer. They're ready to switch their cycle into a whole new regime. So be ready to be selling things in that regime to fit within their cycle.
But they want simple. They don't want 15 different things to do. They want something quick because, life is quick. But we want 1, 2, 3, and then we switch.
Meet them where they are.
Yes. Make it fun. Okay. Who has seen maybe the last talk we did, we asked the question and we saw eyes, but nobody raised their hand. Who saw the movie Barbie?
There we go.
Yes.
This was the expectation.
Proud of you. Who did wear pink?
Yes.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Why are we talking about Barbie? So make it fun. Barbie in makeup in the US, in 5 days, they sold for $200 million. of sparkle makeup and everything that could create fun around that. Hey, I'm going with all of you. We're going to see the movie wherever Taylor Swift is, right? Yes, she would sell everything around. People gather in groups. They wear their cowboy boots and woohoo, fun is happening again, right? Create that fun. We're not Barbie, we're not Taylor Swift, but create events in your store that would create that connection for your people in your store, but also for customers that come in. As an example, holiday season is upon us. We're preparing for that. Create a VIP night where after the store is closed, you prepare a special event. You can have little cocktails, you can have little snacks, and then you have brands that are there to give away products, to have deals. You can have green drinks, you can have the better chocolate, you can offer all of that, but you create that special VIP shopping experience in store. And you have people that talk amongst each other. So you create that connection with your store. And that makes you different than all the others around, where, fighting or competing for pricing is no longer the only thing that you have.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was to give just other ideas. Summertime, do a barbecue. I'm an avid CrossFitter, so I would say create some type of activity outside and have some of the brand to bring food, protein bars, and have all that activity, but don't wait for the event to be perfect. I often hear, well, I don't have all of this. I'm not totally ready. That won't be super perfect. Just do it. I'm stealing a famous phrase here. But yeah, do it. And you make it better every time. But at least you create that connection with everybody, with your community, and that's powerful.
Yeah, you're creating a sense of belonging.
Yes.
And you can tie this right back into that whole values-oriented consumer, right? You think about Taylor Swift is a great example. So all we've been hearing about is, oh, she's handing out these giant checks to her truck drivers. Her dancers are insured. Like, what a great woman. I'm so happy that she's following the values that I would want to see, that I would be doing if I was Taylor Swift. And it makes me feel connected and it makes me feel like belonging. You can do that with your store. You already are using these values in your own way. You just need to make sure that you're sharing that people know that. So, here's how we're eliminating waste. This is why we're not offering plastic bags anymore. Come up with your own ideas about the different things that you're doing in your store. Here's how we treat our employees. These are the good things that we're doing. And that's going to make me as a consumer say, that matches my values. I want to be a part of that. I want to support that. And now I'm part of that community. And when I want to shop, I'm going to my community and where I belong. And that's where I'm shopping. Efficacy above all else. Above all else. So the biggest barrier for natural beauty with gaining trust is efficacy and certifications. A product that doesn't work will not succeed no matter how many certifications it has, no matter how many boxes of values it checks. If it's not efficacious, it's not going to fly. We did talk a little bit about this already. So we're seeing some of the most searched things being shampoo, sunscreen, color cosmetics. These are people searching, okay, is this going to work? If I use this shampoo, am I going to have to just wash my hair again in 10 minutes because it didn't really work? Yeah. If I use this sunscreen, am I really going to come out in the afternoon and not be burnt? Or am I going to put it on and just look like a ghost?
Yeah.
People are searching this kind of information. They want to know, okay, what's everybody saying? Is this actually working? Do I like it? And then we touched on before, don't forget to educate. If we're not explaining to our customers, okay, this is how you're going to need to use that sunscreen, or this is how you need to use this shampoo, it's not going to be efficacious for them anyway. So don't forget that education step.
Here's an idea for you. We're talking about some fun things to do. Throw some education night where you say, hey, you've been using all these not natural product for your hair. Bring your stuff and we'll exchange for you for new natural products, and talk about, the chemicals and how to use and have the same glowing skin that you have using non-natural. So create that fun communication, and again, use that community bond to create those fun events. But if you have to remember the key points, Oriented buyers. So remember the core values at the beginning. Get more, spend less. Make sure you have that in store, that you offer, buy two, get one free, this with that. Hydration is still the hottest category in the beverages. Create aisle. At Purity now in our warehouse, we have to have an aisle just of hydration. So do the same in your store. Looking for performance and efficacy. Educate ties up together, and beauty is growing. Please don't put it away because you haven't been successful with it. Reach out. We'll help you out gladly.
Pivot.
I want to win with the conventional, so let's do it together. And
Thanks very much.
thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us with the overview of our trend talk that we did at the CHFA East. It was so good to have you, and we really appreciate you spending the time with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can certainly follow everything Purity Life at Purity Life Health Products, or myself at Erin G. Macklin, and Julie.
JD_girl power.
And stay tuned next week for our next episode.
Yes, very excited to share with you the NAT Expo in Paris.
In Paris.
Yes, lots of good content.
Yeah, that'll be
Yes.
really fun. Thanks so much.